What if the helicopters had flown into Saigon as liberators instead of evacuees? In our timeline, the Vietnam War ended with the fall of Saigon. American helicopters evacuated the last diplomats and refugees from the embassy roof as North Vietnamese tanks entered the city. It was a humiliating defeat that scarred American foreign policy for a generation. But what if the United States had won? The Vietnam War was a conflict between communist North Vietnam and American-backed South Vietnam. It lasted nearly 2 decades and cost more than 58,000 American lives. Despite overwhelming firepower, the United States struggled to defeat a determined guerrilla force fighting for national unification. Winning required more than bombs. It required political legitimacy. In 1968, North Vietnam launched the Tet Offensive, a surprise attack across South Vietnam. Militarily, the United States and South Vietnam repelled the assault. But psychologically, it shattered American confidence. In our alternate timeline, a decisive American response turns Tet into a genuine military and political victory, breaking communist morale. A decisive American victory in Vietnam requires sustained political will at home. Presidents Johnson and Nixon commit fully to the war rather than seeking withdrawal. Anti-war protests continue, but the media narrative shifts after clear battlefield successes. Congress funds the war through the 1970s, and South Vietnam builds a stable government. With continued American air power and supplies, South Vietnam repels the 1975 North Vietnamese offensive. Saigon does not fall. The border stabilizes. North Vietnam, exhausted and isolated after losing Soviet support, accepts a negotiated settlement. The country remains divided, much like Korea, with a capitalist South and communist North. An American victory in Vietnam sends shockwaves through the Cold War. The domino theory appears validated. American allies in Asia gain confidence. The Soviet Union and China lose prestige. The United States uses the victory to justify further interventionism, strengthening alliances in Latin America, Africa, and the Middle East. At home, a victorious Vietnam War changes American politics. The generation gap between veterans and protesters remains, but the national trauma of defeat is absent. Presidents are not weakened by endless war. The military is celebrated rather than distrusted. Popular culture reflects a more confident, interventionist America. A pro-American South Vietnam becomes an economic success story over time, much like South Korea. Thailand, Malaysia, and Indonesia strengthen their anti-communist alignments. Laos and Cambodia avoid the horrors of communist revolution. The region develops earlier, with American investment flowing into factories, ports, and cities. China, humiliated by the failure of communist expansion in Southeast Asia, takes a harder line. The Sino-Soviet split deepens. Taiwan gains confidence. The United States deepens its military presence in the Western Pacific. The path to China's eventual economic opening may be delayed or redirected by renewed American pressure. Emboldened by victory, the United States intervenes more aggressively in future crises. The lessons of Vietnam are very different, that American power works when fully committed. This confidence shapes responses to Soviet adventures, Middle East conflicts, and regional insurgencies throughout the late 20th century. Today, a unified capitalist South Vietnam might rival South Korea as an Asian economic power. The United States maintains bases and influence across Indochina. The Vietnamese diaspora in America is smaller, but the relationship between the two countries is closer. The shadow of defeat no longer hangs over American military adventures. This alternate history shows how much the Vietnam War shaped American identity. Defeat produced caution, cynicism, and a reluctance to intervene. Victory might have produced overconfidence and more frequent wars. Either way, Vietnam was a turning point that redefined what America thought it could achieve in the world. Winning Vietnam was possible only with a different kind of war. More troops, more time, more political patience, and a South Vietnamese government capable of inspiring its people. That combination never came together in our timeline. But imagining victory helps us understand why the war was fought, why it was lost, and how its memory still shapes America today.